Friday. Here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now.
The fact that I am able to take a position and continue serving Auburn, it's just an amazing blessing.
Auburn's police chief is trading his badge for a different position to serve his city. We'll chat with him about it.
Important news for anyone with life-threatening allergies. The Food and Drug Administration approves the first generic competitor to EpiPen.
And Coco, you're great and everything, but a certain someone's getting ready to come back here.
Get a surprise visit. This is News Center Now.
In as many months, we're seeing a police chief in Maine slide to a position in city management. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Chris Costa. In July, Portland's police chief became one of 2 assistant city managers. Now, Auburn's police chief is taking the role of assistant city manager.
Philip Crowell Jr. says this type of transition is common, and for him, he's looking forward to continuing to serve the city he grew up in, and his commute won't change at all.
I'm an Auburn kid. Grew up here, raised here.
Auburn's now former police chief will return to work Monday in the same building, but in a different role. Philip Crowell Jr. has accepted the assistant city manager's position, and Auburn Hall is home to not only the police department, but the city offices as well.
My commute didn't change at all.
Crowell, who was with the department for 25 years, isn't the first police chief in Maine to trade in the badge for another municipal leadership position. Last month, Portland's former police chief Michael Soschuk stepped down from that post to become an assistant city manager, sharing the job with Mona Bechter. Crowell chalks it up to a common transition.
Even in law enforcement across the country, a lot of times the chief of a police organization is engaged in part of the community and is really involved in all the other departments within a city.
A retirement ceremony held Friday at Auburn Hall with dozens of Maine police departments represented. His brothers in blue not only thanking Crowell for his service, but his wife and family.
This is all they've known. You know, when you look at the Auburn Police Department, that's their family. That's what they know.
Senator Susan Collins and a representative from Congressman Bruce Poliquin's office both presented Crowell with a flag flown over the nation's capital in his honor.
And this is the certificate that proves that it was decided. I know that police officers like evidence.
Crowell was the driving force behind the new Maine Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. He also started Auburn's Citizen Police Academy and the first Somali Citizens Academy. He was named Chief of the Year by the Maine Chiefs of Police Association back in February. Recruitment and retention were his 2 areas of focus, and among the challenges his predecessor will now face.
We have an opioid epidemic that we're faced with that we don't have enough resources to combat.
Crowell started as a patrol officer, eventually becoming a detective and then chief, in which he served the last 12 years. Now, Deputy Chief Jason Moen will serve as interim police chief.
All right, Mainers who have life-threatening allergies say the opportunity to have a new FDA-approved generic EpiPen could mean lower costs.
The new generic from Teva Pharmaceuticals creates more competition for the brand Mylan. Mylan drew criticism years ago when it increased the price of an EpiPen twin pack to $600.
Mylan offers its own generic version for around half that price, but people who rely on these devices hope the new version will be even cheaper.
And you just pull this. It's good that they're coming out with them because they're just, I mean, if there's ones that are cheaper, then clearly they don't need to be banking off the EpiPen and that people need to use it. It's not something people use every single day.
There are many pharmacies that offer coupons for people to get EpiPens at a lower price.
Everything helps, right? A group of people from all over the world, including Mainers, are trying to break a world record while honoring friends who recently died.
25 alumni from Seeds of Peace, a summer camp in Otisfield, organized Wheeling for the World, where people are riding kick scooters to break the world record for the longest distance traveled in 24 hours.
One of the people they're honoring is 16-year-old Layla Al-Matrouk, who died from injuries she suffered when she was hit by a car while riding her bike in Belfast, August 5th.
And they want us to persist, to be dedicated to something for the greater goal of the community. And that's what they were about, and that's what we're here about here. So we recognize, we carry them with us to the finish line.
Figured I can give 24 hours to honor his life a little bit and hopefully keep his spirit helping me going around the track.
Wheelers kicked off the event at 6 this morning.
Organizers say they've already broken that 2014 world record of 344.07 miles. Yeah, traveled by kick scooter, but they're waiting for the official word from Guinness World Records.
Best of luck, guys. Okay, it felt fantastic stepping out there this morning. What a difference a few hours can make.
Yeah, and it was finally dry for once in a while, but Keith is here to either bring us the good news or the bad news. So which one is it, Keith?
There's going to be some showers. Lindsay's a weather optimist, I
know, I am.
Like during the spring, it'd be like 38. She's like, the windows were down today. It's a beautiful day.
It was great.
It's good. It's all right. We'll take one of that. Yeah, it is really nice today. High temperatures in the mid and upper 70s for the most part. 77 officially in Portland and Bangor, and 73 in Bar Harbor. Dew points were down as well, and temperatures right now in the low 70s and 60s in the mountains. We do, though, have some showers out there. These are relatively light at the moment, so you can see that even when they moved from New Hampshire into western Maine, that they weakened a little bit. So light shower activity coming through southern and western Maine, and then there's a break behind this and another round of thunderstorms for later on tonight into early tomorrow morning. So hour by hour forecast shows you the first batch of showers. Here's your break, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then it's 1 or 2 in the morning before some of these thunderstorms come through, largely in the mountains. Tomorrow continues to just be an all over the place day. We start with some showers tomorrow morning. The middle of the day tomorrow looks pretty good. Temperatures in the upper 70s or so, and then a round of thunderstorms possible tomorrow afternoon, touched off by that instability. We're going to be quieter on Sunday. And guys, overall, we're about to go through a pattern change. It'll be the first time in a while we won't talk about humidity next week. So I think Lindsay will be real optimistic about that.
Oh man,
Love
off
to hear
the
that.
charts. All right. All right. So we call Chris Coco, right? And Coco, we love having you here. Of course, you're a key part of this team, but we also miss the guy who usually sits here too. You know that guy, Lee Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since we miss him so much, we had to check in with him and, of course, his huge family today.
Yeah, so we're talking to him, his new baby. We figured you guys would want to see how he's doing as well. So here's a couple of clips from our chat earlier today.
3 weeks at home with all these monsters is awesome and exhausting. Speak of the devil.
Gannon.
There's Finn.
Oh, Mr. Finster. And Karen.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Karen, you are a rock star.
Oh, look, it just drooled right down his face.
Aww.
That's a made-for-TV moment right there. Put that in brain drops.
What do you think of baby Faye? Do you love him?
So I do want to say this, since I have your undivided attention. We had a pretty eventful delivery, and we've had just amazing messages and love and support, and it's just been awesome from all the viewers and obviously from all you guys at work. It's just been really cool to have all the support and love for this little guy who made quite an entrance. I really appreciate it and can't wait to get back and see everybody, and can't wait to get back and see the viewers and tell some war stories about baby number 7.
Oh, he's difficult. Look how tough he is.
There's a lot of kid chasing, which is fun. There's a lot of summer in Maine, which is awesome. And this isn't our first rodeo when it comes to babies, so we've been kind of taking care of that as well. Letting Mama heal up from her eventful sidewalk delivery. So it's been an event. Again, thanks for the love and the support. Crazy Goldberg house is all is good and well. And hey, the Patriots won last night. Woo!
I love him. He's trying to beat me on the beard.
Right.
I think we should have a competition.
Ooh.
Like a beard growing competition. We'll do No Shave November. See
there
who
you go.
He'll
a little
blow
early.
me out of the water.
Yeah.
If you don't know the story of how Finn Goldberg came into this world, you should definitely go check it out. I posted the story on my Facebook page. I know I wrote up an article
it's on our website
that
too.
night, and we put it up on the web. and it got so much reaction. We got so many comments from people about this story because we kind of told what happened and then revealed, by the way, it's Lee Goldberg.
Right.
I feel like obviously it was not going to happen to anybody else besides Goldberg.
I know. Two great parents, Karen and Lee. You guys definitely have your hands full, and just what a story. I mean, it really is amazing.
Really, really
Can't wait to have you back, Lee.
Yeah. So if you are missing Goldberg, excuse me, Lee, just as much as we are, don't despair. He'll be back on Monday.
That's all right. We're in the business of nicknames on this show. Yeah. Okay, after the break, we're going to chat with a team that's very similar to our team right here at News Center Now. You'll probably recognize them.
As tomorrow is just palindrome day, but for one Farmington couple, it will be a day they'll remember forever. So, guys, how many of you celebrate Palindrome Day? Who knew that that was a... I mean, I knew it was a like unofficial thing.
One of my good friends who lives in Maine, he's not watching right now because he's working. I know that for a fact.
What?
I think it was his 30th birthday was on 11/11/11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we had like a big celebration.
Oh, cool.
Or maybe it was the 29th. I can't remember.
29, 29, 29.
Yeah, right?
That doesn't exist.
No. The birthday was 11/11/11. I just don't remember how old he turned that day. I thought it was like the big 30, but I don't know. But yeah, that was cool.
Do you remember? Oh boy, I'm gonna mess this up. We had one not long ago where it was like 9, 10, 11, or you know what it was 12, 13, 14. Right, we had December 13th, 2014.
Like all in a row.
Right, and then it was, you know, if you did military time, 15 was 3 p.m., 16, so it was like at 3:16 p.m. on December 13th, 2014, it'll be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Right.
And I think that's the highest it'll ever go for 100 years.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, for 100 years, because 12 for the month, as high as we're gonna get.
Yeah.
But the one tomorrow is interesting.
So let's think about it. It's 8,
Yep.
18, 18. So you can flip that backwards. So it's not all the same numbers, but it's like you can go either way.
Yep. And at 8 a.m. or 8:18 a.m.
Yeah.
and 18 seconds.
Got a lot of ones and eights.
8.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
Crazy.
Let's see what you guys are saying here on our Facebook.
We got people watching from all over.
Everybody loves Goldberg's family.
I know.
Shocker.
Linda says no humidity, please. I know the break in the humidity is nice.
We'll put the order into the weather department.
Robert says I'd pay money to see you two on a kick scooter. Well,
Robert,
maybe we can make that
happen. If I do say so myself, I was pretty mean on the razor back in the day. Sharper image. That's right. Had the little wheelie bar and everything. Light up wheels.
No, I didn't know if you meant razor scooter or razor phone.
No, the razor scooter.
I had a
the one
razor
that you
phone.
kick.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I had like the knockoff version. What?
Did you ever like have it bang into your ankles?
Oh, the worst.
Oh, the worst.
That was the worst feeling.
Little baby ankles.
If you keep it on News Center Maine, you'll recognize this crew from Daily Blast Live, the show that gets us fired up for News Center Now, weeknights at 4, Season 1 in the book. So Sam Shocker and Stephanie Jones, what is Daily Blast Live for those who haven't seen it? Hey, guys.
Hey, Lindsay.
Hello.
Hey. Yes, we are a live interactive show, a daily news show. And for everything that you're talking about at home, we're talking about it right here, from pop culture to politics to breaking news. Sometimes it can get heated, but we have a lot of fun here. And we also continue the conversation with the viewer during the breaks. So if you go onto Facebook and YouTube, you can share your thoughts, your feelings. We'll respond to you by name, and it makes it a lot more interactive.
Everyone watching at home is probably thinking, hey, that sounds similar, because we kind of do a similar situation here at News Center Now. And every now and then we see some themes in the topics that come up that people are talking about. So I'm curious to know, do you see certain themes throughout the country that come up?
Of course, you know, we're talking about what's hot right now. We're talking about what you guys are all talking about in your homes, live in the studio. And I think that's what makes us so exciting, because it's like you're part of our DBL family. These guys have made me their family, and they've been so welcoming. And so I think they really bring that to all you guys in the audience at home too.
My last question here, what can we expect season 2 coming up?
There's so much exciting stuff. We've got a few new members, including myself. We've got Brandon London, Bo Davidson, that are all joining the original squad, and we could not be more excited. And I mean, check out our beautiful studio, right? We've had a makeover. It's a serious makeover.
We have season 2 lighting, which is really important. I feel like all my wrinkles are finally blurred out. But Stephanie's not going to talk about herself, so I'll talk about her. We're really lucky to have her. She's our international voice. She's an expert in pop culture, fashion, all of the above, but she's got a really staunch opinion too. So watch out, because this girl is going to tell you exactly how there's no filter there. And that's what makes her, and Brandon London, who's a former pro football player, also a Super Bowl champ, also staunch opinions, and then Bo Davidson, who is very conservative. And that's what we want here. We want everybody's perspective to be represented, so we can get into those uncomfortable conversations and let it all out, just like you do at home.
So exciting.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much. Sounds like you really have a well-rounded crew. Catch Daily Blast Live weeknights at 4, right ahead of News Center Now, every night at 5 p.m. Thanks, guys, so much.
Bye, Lindsay. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Jeff, can I say anything about that, or is that like?
I think we're going to be on Facebook Live, right? Just like we just talked about, we're on Facebook Live during the commercial breaks talking about it, right?
You'll be surprised, or not surprised to know, Keith and I forgot we were talking on Facebook on Monday, but we had a great, informative conversation.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, we got really lucky.
What was this? Do we want to relive this?
We were engaged in a conversation about utility companies and how the lights, you want the lights to work when you flip a switch, right?
Sure,
so
absolutely.
You're never going to like take time out of your day, at least I'll speak for me. I'm never going to set aside time in my day to write a letter to my utility company wherever I live in the country and say, thank you for the great service you do.
Yeah.
So they inherently get crap reviews. Like, so cable companies are like this.
This was like the Yelp thing that you were talking about?
Yeah, but it had to do with the CMP story from Monday.
Yeah, like it's okay. It's just a hard thing to get positive ratings on.
Right.
In general.
Right.
Like, I even find actually some doctors and dentist office can be like that. If you read some negative reviews on doctors and dentists, it's almost always like the person at the front like messed up my appointment or what, and like so now this reflects on the doctor that whose name is on there. That's a common thing too. So there's a lot of like little weird loopholes where you need to read the actual. So I think like whether or not CMP did something wrong, which we'll find out.
Right.
You're not going to have 5 stars being any utility company, no matter what it is.
And that's fair conversation, but we were like, oh wait, we're on Facebook.
Right.
Which if you know me, you know that is like the best case possible scenario for things I could get caught saying.
Sure.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
We're not even talking about CMP today. We're not even have a story on CMP today, but we know that it gets you guys fired up. But it's it's a valid point. And I mean, anytime. Right, you expect when you flip the switch or when you turn on the water, right?
You expect it to
work. For utility companies, it's going to work. When it doesn't work, people get mad. And then
Coco, I like your hair. You're going a little bit more Euro soccer.
Pardon me?
The hair, I like it. It's a little bit more dug in on the side.
Oh, I got it done last week.
I notice you, okay?
Thank you.
I just want you to know that.
I think that's the first time he's ever done
Can you
that.
turn, because they can't see it. See,
yeah, no, they can't.
It's the
You
cut
gotta turn the other way.
See, I can't do that. My hairline's not good enough for that.
Sherry says, ask Keith to let the sun shine all day tomorrow for Jenna Barrows and Kenny Aberg's wedding. If only Keith could control that.
There's so many weddings tomorrow.
Really?
I've been responding to
8/18/18. 18/18/18/18.
And it's statistically usually a good time. There'll be a couple showers. They'll be all right.
So yeah, actually, that's an interesting story coming up in a little bit.
Oh, we got more stuff.
Words, sentences, or sequences that read the same backward and forward are called palindromes.
All right, so here's a few examples. Race car, kayak, level, taco cat. Just to name a few. If you think about it, spelled the same forward and backwards.
True. Okay, so if you didn't know, it's palindrome week because every day this week written in a 5-digit format are palindromes.
Now, tomorrow is Palindrome Day, and Katie Ortiz now introduces us to a couple that is making the most of it.
It was every day at cards, it'd be like, the hint would be there. She'd give me the hint, give me the hint.
When Sandy Osgood knew her boyfriend Toby was the one, she made sure to let him know.
One night my best friend Michelle was here and we were playing cards and we would get fours or something and we'd be like, look at that, it's a ring of fours, or do you want onion rings with supper? Everything had to do with rings. And
one day she was just sitting there watching TV. I went out and got the ring, got down on one knee and asked her, and she said yes.
Now with the wedding just days away, there's lots of prepping going on in their Farmington home. But this wedding, the third for both of them, is unique.
So that's the theme of the wedding, is cow and country.
No, it's not just because of Sandy's quirky obsession with cows.
I'm on the calendar, I'm going off, on, ooh. And he's on vacation. I says, that'll work. And 8/18/18 is a cool date. So I said, what do you think? And he says, all right.
August 18th, 2018 marks the end of Palindrome Week. Each date is the same, frontwards and backwards. It's also just 2 days before their first anniversary.
I said, well, maybe he'll remember those dates if they're both so close together.
Like many couples nowadays, the two met online. Sandy put out an ad on Craigslist, not looking for anything serious, and after a few emails and phone calls, they finally met.
It was a little nerve-wracking, of course, and we just had dinner and hung out and played cards, and then he never left.
I responded to the ad, and that was it. It was just like, sometimes you just know, and I just basically knew.
It's been really, really good. Of course, you have your bumps in the roads, but you work through those. We work and we come home, and we play cards, and I win.
All the time. All the time.
We play Skippo just every night, just about every night. While we have dinner, we play Skippo, and I don't know why he continues to play with me, because I won, what, 84 games and you won 7?
Yes.
Perhaps waiting for a twist of fate.
You won.
Like waiting for the one.
Third time is the charm, hopefully.
Keith, you were saying there are a lot of weddings happening this weekend.
There sure are. That one was great at trolling, by the way. She'd be like, we come home every night, I beat his butt playing cards, but that's just marriage.
Trolling game strong.
Great, I love it. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of weddings this Saturday, and it's a tough forecast because there will be showers around, but it's not a washout. Okay. So it kind of depends when your wedding is.
Sure.
Not that that's an invitation for you to email me and tell you when your wedding is. I'm just saying.
No trolling, Keith.
I usually respond, I'll have the fish, to emails about, hey, my wedding is tomorrow. Great, I'll have the fish if you're offering that. All right, hey, dew points went down for a while, right? Early today, late last night, it was almost crisp. Look at them trying to creep back in. Concord at 71, 67 in Sanford, 66 in Portland. Temperatures, though, really comfortable today. Most of us in the mid-70s, briefly up to the upper 70s under mostly sunny skies. Now clouds racing in, showers coming with it. These are moving very quickly, though, these showers, and they're on the light side. So most of us get a quick shot of some rain over the mid-coast here in the next couple of hours. And then there's a break with not a ton of activity back here. But if we widen the picture, you'll see moving into southwestern Massachusetts right now is a whole glob of thunderstorms, and there's a severe thunderstorm watch out here as well. So this we'll have to watch later this evening and through early tomorrow morning for the possibility of a couple of stronger storms, and they would be late after midnight in a lot of spots before they come through, rumbling to the coastline, but a lot of them stay over northern Maine into the mountains. Now tomorrow, as I mentioned, is a tough day. We start with the shower, we get a break, I think, in the middle of the day, and then some thunderstorms pop up 2-3 in the afternoon, come through, and then it clears out later in the day. So a lot to digest there, but again, it's not raining that much on Saturday. And then Sunday is a partly cloudy day with more sunshine as you head farther inland and more clouds along the immediate coastline. Temperatures there only in the 70s. This is a trend, though, we haven't seen in a while, which is we're going to be below average largely, now only by a degree or so, but through the next 5-6 days, our average high is 78. We'll be around 77 and eventually ramping back up to 80, but there's no heat in here, and the dew points will stay relatively low in the 60s for the most part. But, all that being said, you know what, I didn't want to show you this yet. Sorry, guys. Wipe that from your memory. That's brain drops. We're going to do a lot more there. Anyways, yes, temperatures will ramp up. Let's move quickly through this. All right.
Wow, you can't keep it away.
I'm glad that it's kind of confusing as most of my stuff is, so you don't even have to guess at that. Yeah, that's perfect. Anyways, partly cloudy on Sunday, a shower on Monday. You know, Jess and I were talking about how this pattern is not sexy in any way. Like, it's not super warm, it's not super humid, it's not all that fallish. It's just
smooth sailing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like 70s, couple showers. Overall, relatively quiet going forward. But we only need 2 more days of 70 dew points to get to that record. So
I feel like you're itching for this because
Yeah,
every day this week and
You
the
can't
previous
get this
week you've been
close
like
and
coming
not
up with
get
these
it.
like graphics.
you can't get this close and not get it. And like we have still 2 months to get it. So I feel confident.
It'll happen, probably, most likely.
It'll
You would know
happen.
better than me, but
Yeah.
sounds good, like good chances. All right, Keith, thanks so much. Okay, a lot more news coming up in the next half hour. Let's check in with Cindy Williams for more on that. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. We have a really interesting story on how turnout for high school football nationwide is way down. The season is already happening in some states. We're going to find out how some states are handling the drop in turnout of players, and we're also going to tell you what Maine is considering. That's all coming up at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, Cindy, thanks so much. Brain drops when we come back.
Okay, guys, I have to give a shout out real quick to Connie and Yvette. Met these ladies when I was in Auburn today. They watch us every night, and they are the sweetest ladies I've ever met in my life. They instantly reminded me of my Grammy, who is French Canadian. They spoke fluent French, and I was ashamed to admit that I do not know any French. And yeah, they do these like social groups called the French Connection, and it's basically anyone who has like French Canadian heritage or went to a French school when their families came down or over to the United States. They go to these like social clubs and they meet and they have dinner, and like my grandparents do it down in Massachusetts, and they are part of one here in Maine, and just kind of nice to know that there are those kinds of connections out there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are they watching us on Facebook Live? Or do they watch us on Facebook Live?
I believe so. I don't know. But we did have like a little symbol, like a little wave, like she wanted me to wave, and I did my little symbol, so she got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Facebook friends, if you're watching on Facebook, little PSA from the news department here. And I'll show you why. I have a missed call on my phone right now. Okay? I'm not going to show you who it's from, but it's from 19 minutes ago. A missed call on my phone.
Is he upset about
That is
robocalls?
from somebody that I have been trying to get in touch with
Oh no.
all day for the story that I was trying to work on. I'm not going to get into specifics, but if we ever call you for a story at 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, 11 in the morning, maybe at noon, maybe after lunch, and you don't call us back until 5:05 when we're already in the show,
Coco.
we can't do an interview with you at that time.
It's okay. Coco's had a day.
We need you to talk to us ahead of time.
And I need you to slide.
So that we can do
So
the
I can put my
story.
little-
And this has just been my week so far. Every single day I have been struggling
Now see this?
to get good
This is
stories.
my soapbox. So I'm going to
Yes.
step on my
Okay.
soapbox, and I'm going to tell you how I feel today.
Go ahead.
I have no opinions today.
Okay.
You're lucky.
Anyway.
Okay.
That's the point.
But Keith,
that's all I
he's
have
a
to
man of opinion.
All right, you missed some good stuff in the break there. On Facebook, go on Facebook and you can see
Yeah,
Coco
Facebook
rant
Live.
about something. All right, so this is the graph that I didn't mean to show you earlier. But what we're looking at here is May, June, July, those 3 months together, the rank on average temperature. Now this is somewhat counterintuitive because it's science and we like to do this. 120th sounds like, well, that's like not a big deal. That actually means 5th warmest. So the way that they do it is it's the 120th coolest. Okay, least warm, warm. You don't even need to worry about it. Okay, it's the 5th warmest on record. But what's interesting about that is the Northeast is 5th warmest on record. But let's go to the next graphic, and this was the one that really got me. So for the lower 48, it is the warmest May, June, July on records, and that includes all the way back to 1895. So that's quite something to have the entire country be that mild. Now, we talked about anomalies yesterday
Yes.
with the sea surface temperatures, and to give you an idea, to be number one, all you needed was 3.4 degrees over the whole country. So, you know, Fahrenheit, right? We were talking 3 Celsius yesterday.
Yeah.
So, you know, averages have a way of averaging out. So it's hard to beat records within a certain standard deviation because they all, you know, you have a warm spell here, a cool spell there, and the country in general finds a way to balance itself. So anyways, I thought this was interesting as we go into a cooler period in August to note that we had our warmest 3-month stretch. And it all factors into how it's been one of the most humid stretches, and the Gulf of Maine is one of the warmest. So all of the factors that made you feel like this was a warm stretch of weather, the data backs it up.
Confirmation bias.
So yeah, it might make you feel a little bit better to know not just us, it was humid, it was hot, and it happened over the course of 3 months.
Fact and feeling kind of go
which doesn't
hand
always
in hand.
happen.
But this is May, June, July. This doesn't even include August.
Right, correct. And so we're interested to see August started warm, cooling down the second half, and that's usually what happens. But in any event, this was a big deal, and this is part of the reason it was so mild in the Atlantic as well.
Very good. All right, Keith, thanks so much. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
120th.
Least, coolest. All right, everybody.
Yes, that's it. I had it right. 120th.
You did have it right.
Coolest.
I was following. Have a great weekend. Call people back.
So otherwise you just see my chin, which isn't super cool.
I'm 5 feet even. How tall are you?
Over 6 foot.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So,
All right, everybody.
Call people back.
Call
It's always
people
fun.
back.
I'm sure there's people who want to hear from you.
Make good choices. Bring
Hasta
me
mañana.
heels. Hasta mañana.